All right, welcome back to the series of Business and Soul Alignment Healing Sessions. I'm Emily Aarons, and this week's session is with actually a dear friend of mine, Andréa Michelle. We have worked together for years, so this is not a new session for her. So you'll get to see a little bit of a different of like energy dynamics and sort of the shift. Also, she's pretty advanced in her business, and so what's come through for her session was nothing short of epic. That's all I can say is the energy that came in for her to really expand into this next level. And what's funny is at the beginning, she was saying like, there's these two things, and I don't know if I want to mention the second thing, but then she does later mention what the second thing is. And then it's like, oh, it all makes sense when you hear what happened in the beginning of the session. Also make sure that you stay tuned to the very end to see how Andréa felt after the session and how it all integrated for her. If you follow me, subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment below, I would so appreciate it. Then you don't miss any of these sessions in the future. Make sure this is part of a series. So make sure that if you are just watching this one for the first time, that you can check out the other sessions that are part of this healing series as well. Thank you so much for being here. And here is the session with Andréa. Hi.
Hello.
Now I get to see you. So we've worked together many, many times. So you're used to these sessions and sort of how they go. So far, the people who have been part of this series have been completely new to me that I met for the first time. So it's been really, really fun. So you're like the one that's worked with me. This is great.
I'm a seasoned pro. I'm a vet.
Yes. Yes, you are. So I typically like to start the session with asking what you want to work on. And I also wanted to share just a short little message that, first of all, when I first sat down with your energy just before the session started, I just heard like doctor, and it was just like, yeah, it was so good. But then it was like, you're just a confirmation, like you're doing such a phenomenal job. Aww. And, you're doing a phenomenal job of self-care and doing your work. Aww. And like all of the levels of your work, like your work, your personal work, and like all of the work that you're doing. So just a short acknowledgement. But what would you like to work on, my friend?
Let's see. I suppose I should have thought about this before now. It's funny because I have two big ideas that feel like they want to come forth. And for a while, I was thinking, okay, maybe later, because like, as you mentioned, like I'm working on my PhD, and it was like, these are things that would come, after I get the PhD, but I just have this feeling like all in my body that, like they need to come forward like right now. And so I'm really at this place where I'm just like gathering, my thoughts and really just thinking about how I want to execute on these like two things. And they're both really big things. Mm-hmm. And so like, when is this going to air? Because I don't want to like say it now before, you know what I mean?
I think it's going to air sometime in March.
Okay.
Maybe April. I mean, we really don't know the timeline right now because we're putting them all together, and this is like a fun project, but mm-hmm. we're gonna try to get them done in the next few weeks. So if there's sensitive information on here, you don't have to say it specifically.
Okay, I know what I want to work on, because one is going to probably either be like out that I'm going to put out like probably around March or April. The other one is going to take a little more time. So,
I know it's hard that we have to edit ourselves or hold back, because usually we just go to town and don't have to worry about any of that.
I know, like, right? When it's just the two of us, we're just like, bleh. Okay, so this new program that I'm working on, I can actually talk about this. Like, okay, it's big, but which I share. Well, I share with you a lot of things. So you already know, but so this 12-month program that I'm working on, it's called the Synergy Healing Accelerator. And it's really exclusively for, and I'm using the word exclusively because it is an exclusive premium program for executives and entrepreneurs who are 6 to 8 figures. Like that's it right there, because the level of service requires not necessarily that level of like income, but what I've learned on my journey in corporate and now being an entrepreneur, that there are certain challenges and issues that you face, when you do get to that level that you may not experience at another level. And so I am really in the process of not necessarily, making myself seem like worthy of it, because I know I'm worthy of it. But just really having a lot of self-talk with the idea that, okay, I'm exclusively talking to these people, but what about these people? Right. It's like, I want to help them, and I do have some things that can still help them, but my message and everything is going to change. And so I feel good about this decision to be exclusive. But I still am in the process of just like reconciling the change, or not even a change, but the shift, the evolution, if you will.
It is. It's a total evolution, and that's okay. And I really love this. So I'm excited for this program as well. I'm excited for you. And like, I have been able to see this evolution, and I'm tickled. So I'm really excited for you. I did pull a few cards for you, and then let's get into seeing what wants to come up for that.
Okay.
Of course, Rose Quartz wanted to work with you. Duh. Obvious. I tried to think of another crystal, but I was like, get out of the way. Excuse me.
Yes. It's so funny.
Is it your session or is it her session? So anyway, we got trust your gut.
Of course.
Thank
you, cards.
We got breakthrough. Keep on going. This is,
you can't make this up.
And we have social media. So this is happening. It's happened. It's like you're already at that shift. And it's really about embodying this breakthrough that's already happened. Shifting your messaging. Already started to shift some of these things already. How you're showing up, but drawing in the big players that you want to draw in it's already starting to come together. And this has happened for you historically over and over, this next iteration. And this is just how your energy is. I've been able to see through enough cycles and to see how your cycles work, and this is just it. Yeah. When you have that hit, you can't unring that bell. Like you can't be like, I'm not sure if I want to do this program. Like it's in your face, and then it's in your face, and then it's in your face, and it pushes you to that next place. Yeah. Or I should say it pulls you to the next place. It's like it's like this vision is just like, oh, okay. And it like teases that part of you up and out so you can be expressed and you can show up in that way. Yeah. And like I said before we started, like, you look so good. Like your energy is so good. I mean, visually you look good, but your energy is so good. And so it's like, but also like the acknowledgement, like you're doing your work. This is why now. Because you've been so dedicated. This is not like a coincidence. This isn't like, You have been so dedicated.
Don't make me cry. My makeup look too good, Emily. I ain't come here for all of that. Okay.
I will not make any promises. You know how I am. You have come this far. And the other day, I actually pulled up an old video of yours. Now I'm going to start. And it was when you were first in M&A and you were like, you know what, I'm going to go out for a run. And I just wanted to listen to some meditation while I was out there. And you were basically saying that you have all this inside of you, that we all have this inside of you. Our potential is limitless. And the energy that you brought into that first video, it's like the seeds were already there. And you hadn't even touched that first version of yourself yet, but it was like, it was in your essence. It was in your knowing, it was in your bones. Like why I left corporate, because I had to. And it's like, we're here again, but you've got that taste. Like, you know what that looks like. You know what it feels like. You know what it's like when you put yourself out there, or when you run the thing and you do the thing. But this is that like whoosh, that higher level that's ready. And it's ready because you've done the work every single day. And you walk the walk. And if there was a single person who could make excuses about life happening to them, it is you, my friend.
That's true.
I mean, the stuff that you deal with on a daily basis and how you still show up and serve. This program isn't coming in for anybody. It's coming in for you to deliver. And so it's time to acknowledge how far you've come.
Yeah.
This first card of trust your gut, no matter how hard it's been, you've never not trusted it.
That's true.
Because you've had those shadowy times.
Yes. Lots of them.
And so have I, but it's, you've never not trusted it.
Right.
It's never led, your intuition has never led you somewhere that you didn't want to be. It's led you to phenomenal breakthrough, phenomenal success. And the impact that you have made and the impact that you are making and that you will make is exponential. You're not here for like little things. And the way that you've evolved, this trust your gut and this breakthrough is like that first little chunk of it. The social media, I know you've already been doing this sort of in the background. We've kind of talked about this, how like there's such, like this stuff like it's like happening. It has to. It's like squeezing you out of that paradigm. It's like squeezing you out of that, of like, here's what the Andréa Michelle was, and this is where actually I want her to be. This is what needs her attention. This is what's drawing people in. So just like, I mean, you're rolling with it, and that's great. But it's part of this, like, it's part of this shift. And that's a really good thing. And it brings me to this program because we were talking about like the branding, like that next shift, like it's all kind of coming together in this next way. You just had your photos done. Like these are all like one thing, like it's all stacking up. Okay. So, okay. So what do we want to do? Okay. I'm going to grab this. The one thing I did write down before we get into it, I did write down, 24,000 minimum as far as like whatever you're pricing the program at. Like we can't go below 24K.
Really? Okay, here's why what you're saying is so crazy, not crazy bad, but just, interesting, is that I have the program, right? And got my little book where I take all my notes in here. And I initially said, okay, it's going to be 20K. But just either yesterday or day before, it was like, that's too low. And I was like, too low? I mean, and I didn't argue. I just kind of like was like, well, let me see where this thought takes me, you know, too low, well, blah, blah, blah. And I totally forgot to go back to that thought because, you know, life happens. And now here you are saying minimum 24 when I had just started questioning the 20. Oh my gosh. Okay. I love it. Thank you for sharing that with me because you had no way of knowing that I was thinking about that.
No, because it was as you were talking, I was like exclusively, and I wrote 24K minimum. That's what I wrote. So do you kind of feel that pressure here? It's like, we're going to need to relieve that pressure a little bit because it's not going to help you. Okay. So let's go into it. Just grounding myself and opening up this container. Good. And I call in the highest, most crystalline, pure, white healing light, filled with the highest healing vibrations. And I ask for this light to surround this space, sealing it as a sacred healing space for Andréa, allowing her to receive everything she requires from this session, opening her up for her next level, this next level of evolution, of ascension, of growth, of impact, of awareness, of intuition, of wisdom, of knowing, and of trust. Calling in all of Andréa's highest guidance, her highest angels and archangels, her highest teachers and masters, her highest ancestors who wish to be with us to support Andréa today. Calling in Andréa's higher self. Beautiful. We ask that she release anything that no longer serves her through all lifetimes, past, present, and future, through this light, and opening up for this next level with ease, joy, and grace, fully trusting in divine timing and divine outcome. Thank you. Bringing in this beautiful rose quartz energy to fill the space with unconditional love, holding this beautiful vibration into the space as well, infusing it with this love. Clearing through crown, third eye, throat. Heart chakra. When we were in your throat chakra, it was kind of like an acknowledgement of like doing some new things. I don't know what you're doing. Like, I mean, I follow you on social media, but it's like not so deep, but it was just like a little acknowledgement, like a little tip of the hat of like, ooh, I like that these new little things you're going to be trying out. That's great. Down into throat, down into heart chakra. Beautiful. Woo, what a healthy heart chakra. Woo! Yes. For somebody who is a trauma sensitive coach holding the container for others. So let's just give her a little, yes. Feels so good. Feels so good. Great container, great boundaries. Super strong, super vibrant. Bring that energy right down into solar plexus, opening up. Let's open up that next level of growth here. Really trusting in this evolution. Yeah. Now I'm feeling my whole body just got lit up with chills. Woo, feeling in that evolution. That word evolution is really resonant in your third chakra. Let's open that up. Let's open up. What does evolution feel like? Revolution and evolution. All right. Open that up. What does that feel like in solar? Feel that expansion. it almost feels like this like energetic atomic blast going.
Yes. Yes.
Whew.
Yes.
Whoa. Let that really expand. I mean, I'm seeing like, you know, that image of the like Earth when like the sun kind of peers out and is like,
yes,
that atomic blast. I'm sweating now. Yeah. Let that out. Evolution feels like that deep, like huge expansion through the entire atmosphere. That sunburst, like sunrise. Let that expand. Feeling all of that. It's like that resonance through all of those soulmate clients really coming in, opening up. Feeling that expansion. Yes. Open up that evolution. That replacing that third chakra, open up that next evolution. And as you're opening up, it's kind of acknowledging where you've come from, where your clients have come from, and then it's like this blast of opening what is possible now. And really acknowledge yourself, because you are chosen. This is your lifetime's work. This is your dharma. This is what you are here to do and what you are here to share, and opening up that enormous container of expansion and evolution for not just yourself, but for others. So let's really acknowledge and open up, giving yourself permission to really spread that out. There is no limit. Whew. Breathe deeply into belly. Oh. Oh. And it's like that guttural feeling. Oh. Oh. Beautiful. Really pull that in. All the way in. Good. Whew. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Breathe that in. Yes. Because as you breathe it in and feel that click, as soon as you breathe it in, it allows it to be birthed into the world. Feeling that second chakra opening right up with it. Yeah. There's these ancestral, and it's like that. Feel that vibration. Feel that pulsing through the physical body, through the energetic body, through all space and time, through all lifetimes, through all dimensions. Yes, good. Breathe it all the way down. Yes. Good. Feeling that like multi-dimensionality coming through with this. Beautiful. And pouring your special unconditional love, pouring out what only you can give. There is that essence, that beautiful unconditional love, that heart chakra resonance, that rose quartz resonance, that bringing that all the way in as you bring that birth out into the world, opening that up. Ooh, good. And this ancestral pulling in of really helping you to hold yourself, holding the space, and for others. Ooh. Yes, finding the edges, finding the container where exactly it belongs. Trusting in its divine timing and divine outcome. Okay, there it is. That first chakra open right up. Yes. Rooting that all in, allowing it to come all the way through. Even more light and energy coming right down from heaven, straight down through the entire chakra system. Really amplifying that energy through all of the chakras, down into third, down through second, and all the way out through base chakra. Rooting into Gaia, that Mother Earth energy, root all the way down, feeling that base chakra really reaching all the way down, 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 down. Breaking past paradigms, past limitations, past limits of financial containers of how much can come through. Bringing in higher levels of safety and security, opening up for how safe and secure can this feel, opening that next level up. There's a new house that's coming in for you as we bring this in. Beautiful. Let it all come through. Breathe it all the way in. Yes. And it's like this mirroring back of the work that you do and this acknowledgement from your ancestors of like beyond their wildest dreams, beyond their wildest dreams. And then you're going to be saying that too one day, beyond your wildest dreams, what is coming through your work for all future generations. Sit up tall, let that come through, acknowledge it, allow it to come through you. Good. Breathe that in. It's this beautiful juxtaposition of how far you've come, where you're going, and what this book is bringing in, this next evolution. This is the evolution of this book. Oh, and it all come through. Oh, these new opportunities that you're opening up. And it's like, this is the catalyst for even more. Let this open up those next opportunities as well. Oh, let that ground, let that settle. Ooh. And it's coming back to the heart chakra, this weight on the heart chakra. So let's clear that weight. What is going on with the heart chakra? Ooh. Acknowledging that this work is enormous, but it is also, it's like this isn't your burden. And it's like, it doesn't have to be your burden. So let's clear through any places that it's been your burden, releasing that now. And so part of this work is acknowledging what may feel like a burden, but it's like, it's the work that we do, the significance that we are here, the impact that we are here to make, but also understanding it's like the work that you do on yourself prepares you for the impact that you're here to make. And the times that we're living in and being on social media and being visible, we are not doing this work in a bubble. We're doing it outwardly exposed. And so when we are exposed to the elements, there is like, there are setbacks and there is, naysayers, and there's like people who just say their thing. It's like, but you're prepared for this and you're equipped for this. And so you don't need to take on that burden. We're just releasing that from you now. Oh. And there's this like insulation that's coming in as well. Let's pull that in. It's like this precious insulation, allowing this work to continuously come in. It's beyond you. It is beyond you. But this is that next paradigm that's coming in through you. and it's coming in one way or another. And so it's helping to insulate you from any outside things that are trying to stop or slow down, because this is the thing about light work, and you've known this for all lifetimes, but this is part of your mission as a light worker, bringing in this next paradigm with you. There's going to be pushback, but you're equipped for that. And this work is insulated, and it's like this next level of insulation. That's the only way I can put it, is like it's coming in and it's protected and it's sacred and it's here and it's going to come through with the loving help of guidance, of angels, of ancestors. But it's not yours to be burdened with. It's like they're saying, it's like it's not your cross to bear. So let's just allow that to come through you. Always being that channel, always allowing yourself to be that conduit. It's coming through you, allowing it to come through you. And I mean, they're acknowledging even me with choosing this crystal. It's like, this isn't your choosing, it's beyond that. And so in allowing that system to come through, that's protecting this work, the sacred work, to come in through you, and just lightening up that heart, the chest. Whew. Let's let that all out. Let's let that go. Coming back into that heart chakra, that beautiful heart chakra that you've made a super amazing container for, and a beautiful home for. Let's open up. And it's like this lightheadedness. So let's really ground your energy as it comes all the way through, ground you completely in your soul's work and in this mission. They're bringing me back to your soul origin. Whew. Because as I was pulling this in and as I was grounding the energy, it was like, you've known this is your mission for a really long time. And it wasn't even like here and now. Then it was like, you've known since you were a little girl, you've known since you were a baby, you've known since your soul was, it's just been here. And so they're just bringing me back to your soul origin and really coming into that place when you've decided, when you chose this, when your soul said yes. And so I want to say thank you to that part of you and that soul mission for bringing this work in, on behalf of other souls as well that get to benefit from this work and the work that your soul is here to do. That ripple throughout all space and time, through humanity, the energy from this world and beyond. It's an enormous responsibility, and it's an enormous gift. Yesterday, I just wrote something, and I'm going to have to try to remember it because I'm kind of not in that energy. But, my son watches Spider-Man, and he says, in the movie, it says, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
And there was an evolution of that. It's like, with this great responsibility comes great amounts of work that we must do with great intent. And at the time I was far more articulate because I channeled it, but at this point I'm not pulling it in, but I think you get what
I do.
Okay. So there is this another level. It's like, this is your mission, and you've been doing it for a very long time, and it's just this next level. But you've always been so self-driven, self-motivated, utterly responsible. I mean, like you own it. You own your stuff. And I mean, I know this as a friend, and I can back you up on that. But this is like, your soul is like, You know, like, yep, that I did that. Like that's part of it. But it's like this, I'm being really drawn. Oh, of course it's pink too. So I'm really being drawn to this. I wanted to share, this is just like a little sculpture I have of this like arms wide open. And it's really that, like, this is what is, it's just like coming through, but it's like this heart chakra, and she's blasting it. Wow, there's like just a ton of energy coming. I'm just going to pause here and just hold this space for a second, because it's actually overwhelming. It's just really grounding this energy. We're in this like celestial field right now, so we're just needing to pull it in a little bit. Let's pull that in. And part of what they're pulling us into that celestial field of your soul origin is, yes, the acknowledgement that this is your work. You are here to do this. Yes, kudos. You take amazing responsibility. That's a beautiful gift of how evolved your soul is. And this next level of understanding and truly acknowledging your worthiness. Because as much as I can bring this energy in and it makes my body get tight and I almost resist and my shoulders get tight and like, what am I supposed to do with it? Who am I? It makes me instantly relax. And it's like, this is beyond my humanness. This is beyond this body and this lifetime and me. And it makes me think of Marianne Williamson when she talks about, you know, we're just the lamp. The lamp isn't the light. The lamp plugs into the energy source and it can become illuminated. And so to think that you are not worthy is, I mean, can you consider a lamp not worthy of shining its light? This is beyond you. And your soul has chosen to plug into this high intensity energy work that's here to make this enormous impact. So you just gonna not plug in? No. Even if you tried to not plug in, you couldn't.
That's so true. Because I've tried to hide. I've tried.
You can't. It's imprinted. It's been with you for all lifetimes. It's part of your soul imprint. You can't unplug. You've always been connected. And you are unapologetically owning that brightness, that light that comes through you. And you have your days that you doubt that, and that's okay. We're human after all. I get it. We're part of the club, but this is it. You couldn't unplug if you tried. And this is your soul mission, and it will continue to be your soul mission regardless of what skin suit you've selected for the lifetime, okay? And in this lifetime, it has to come through you, Andréa Michelle, because the work and the significance is so enormous. And you've got people backing you up. You've got souls backing you up. You've got a lot coming in that's going to just hold you. But this is it. It's beyond you. Okay? So to think that it's about you is to shrink your soul's mission. And I know you know this. I do. I know you know this. But this is just another, I got to say it again, apparently. So, allowing you to really understand the significance of how no matter whatever the day brings, you can't unbe who you are here to be.
Right.
You can't not do the work.
Right.
You're on this trajectory. You put yourself here, and it's bigger than you. Okay. And so this program is saying yes to that. And it's also like the catalyst for something even greater.
That's actually the second thing it's like the second thing that's coming that I want to talk about, but it is like, it's this, and then it's this thing that I have.
Yes.
So you're right. Yeah.
Yes. So even though we can't talk about the thing, we're talking about the thing.
Yes.
It's fine. It's good. Yeah. We're there.
Because even the second thing that I want to talk about, it's like, it's here. Yeah. You know, it's like I said, I thought the second thing would be something 5-10 years down the road, but it's almost like, I feel like, it needs to come in like now, like the idea of, how they say, you deserve a seat at the table, ask to be at the table. If they don't invite you, like, build your own. But it's like these two things, like the Synergy Healing Accelerator and the next thing, you know what? I'm just going to say what it is, whatever it is, because it's coming. So the next thing that has come to me is, it's called the Global Center for Trauma Education and Training. And this program is going to be like, the World Health Organization is, like the CDC is when it comes to like disease control. Like all of these organizations, the Global Center for Trauma, education and training is going to be that. I already have the mission, the values, like it's already created. And the Global Center for Trauma, I already have the domain name and everything, is going to be for like world leaders. It is going to be the place where world leaders and CEOs of multinational companies and they come to learn and get information about trauma and really preventing re-traumatization, because I am beyond the fact. Although scientifically, I don't know that it's proven. Actually, I know it is, but I am beyond the fact. I know that it is that everyone has experienced some sort of trauma. So we need to move the conversation away from how do we prevent trauma from happening to how do we prevent re-traumatization, right? Because there's triggers, people will be triggered. How do we prevent that? And that's what the Global Center for Trauma Education and Training is all about. It's starting at this baseline that everyone has experienced trauma. And now what are some things that we can do to prevent people from re-experiencing that same trauma? So it's out there now.
Yes. Yes, it is out there. It's been out there. Yeah. And as you were talking about, you were having some significant shifts in your energy field as well. It's like some little things just had to shift. And I'm glad, I appreciate you sharing it. And I know we don't ever have to hold back because it's just confidential. It's in our own little bubble. And I know we have to be mindful of that. So thank you for doing that. And this is also echoing the conversation earlier of this, like, this global shift, right? So we pick up on the energy and this is it.
Yeah.
It's there. I'm glad you get to do this work in the world. How wonderful is that?
Yeah.
But it's like, as soon as you say yes to the synergy healing accelerator,
Yeah.
it's a yes for everything else. Like, this is really a catalyst into the other realm.
Yeah.
And so I'm so excited for that.
This is why Instagram took my other account, Andréa Michelle Consulting, and it was acting like that because even that Andréa Michelle Consulting is still too small, right? Yeah. That's why. I mean, it all makes sense now, right?
Yes. Yes.
But of course I was ticked off before, but
I know. And that's that silly social media piece that's coming in. It's like, we're talking about global,
right?
Is this? So it's just going to take out anything that's not in alignment, which, like, I mean, rest in peace, Andréa Michelle Consulting. You worked so hard. You made such a big impact and you built such a big following, and we love you. We're moving on. It's good.
R.I.P.
So, like, that's it. Like, we're just acknowledging and thank you for, you got me here. You got me here. And this is that next level of the messaging as well that's coming in. Like, the level that you are, and that's what that throat, now it's making sense. That throat chakra, it's like we're talking and we're getting a little more creative with what we're doing and how we're sharing that message. And if we're aligning to global, how do we need to pivot that messaging and how we're attracting folks to us into a program? And so I'm feeling really drawn to, do I need to, nothing else with the energy field. I've been really drawn to the synergy healing accelerator. Want to do a little work on that?
I do.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm dry.
Yes.
Okay. So, where do we need to go for this? So what they're acknowledging is kind of like, as soon as you make your mind up for any program, it's pretty much, you've already starting to sell it, starting to do it. Are you thinking about doing it pretty soon?
Yeah, which is kind of shocking because I'm like, but I always like follow my intuition, and it feels like I need to do this in like March. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I think this is kind of, it's okay.
I forgot my face tells on me sometimes.
You did this thing. Like, I thought you were going to go over the edge of a roller coaster or something. I forgot my face did this thing. Okay, let's go into the timeline of this, because it doesn't matter the time. It really doesn't. Yeah. So let's go into the energy. Let's pull in the synergy healing accelerator. That's pulling that first round. Are you thinking like 5 or 6 people? What are you feeling?
I'm feeling for the first, I would be good with 5. I think for the first time around, I could potentially hold the space for 10. Mm-hmm. So anywhere between 5 to 10 for the first round.
Great. Yeah. Cause that's what I'm kind of feeling. It's like, it's almost because I've seen you do these things, and like, and I do the same thing. We start off a little small group and then we go, so it's good. So let's pull in that first round. And let's sort of like play with the energy of 5 to 10. It does feel really strong with 5. Let's open up to see if we open up to 10. The only thing with the 10 is you need to like super ground yourself, and don't just say yes for the sake of filling spots. And like, I know I get it too. Like, my ego's like, I sold this many fans. Like, don't go there, because you will kick yourself later. You will kick yourself later, and you're going to be like, I shouldn't even said yes to that person. And I mean, like, on a personal level, you've seen me go through this, and you've experienced some of that as well too. Like, don't say yes just to get a body in the room. It is not worth it. In case you needed to be reminded, it is not worth it. It's not a numbers game. This is just the catalyst to global like
Right.
evolution. That's all.
Yeah.
So
It's funny you say that, because when you said 5 feels good, and then you said 10, even I was kind of like, ugh. And then I went back down, and it was like 7 is like the most I should have in this program for the first. It's like no more than 7. Yeah. I felt that.
Interesting. There's something that's coming in with this too. Our archetypes. I'm getting like a huge full body chill with this. Archetypes, like almost as though, I don't know if the individual people who are coming in are kind of symbolic of like different personality types or different things. But there's almost like for this program, and I don't know how it's set up or anything, but like there's almost like a categorization of like an archetype, almost like a framework that's wanting to come in with this. So it is kind of significant to have it under like 7 or in that 5 to 7 range.
That's interesting.
So you said it's a 12-month program?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go into that. Okay. Great. So do you have the 12 months already mapped out?
Not fully. Not fully mapped out, but I just kind of have like an outline or whatever.
That works. That works.
Yeah. Like the specific themes and all of that. I'm working through those, like as they come into me, I, make note of it.
Okay. They're taking me to just that promise, like the best case scenario of that person or the people who have completed it and really deepening that transformation. So what does that transformation feel like for you when they've gone through this? What does that look and feel like for you when you connect with that energy?
It feels like, once they've gone through the 12 months, that they will be able to, without sounding like a cliche, but it's the truth, that they will be able to show up as themselves. And what I mean by that is, the more success we achieve, then we start to feel trapped inside of an image of ourselves, right? Or this image that we've projected, or this image that we've created. Yeah. And so there are some things that we don't necessarily do that we feel called to do, but we don't do it because there's this identity or image that we've created. Mm-hmm. And so by the time they're done with this program, these 12 months, and there's going to be this option if they want to stay within community, because that's all a part of untrapping yourself from the identity that's created, then there's an option where they can kind of stay on for maintenance. So by the end of this program, they will be able to, and again, it sounds simple, to show up as themselves. But the people who aren't fully showing up as themselves, they know that they're not showing up as themselves. And so they'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And truly, it's when we reach that high optimal success, wealth, notoriety, achievement, that everything hits the fan, because you're like,
yes,
I've got it all, but now, like, who am I in this process? And a lot of people actually do hit their rock bottom at their highest points.
Yes. So,
yeah.
But here's the thing. The only reason why you know that is because you've achieved success and have experience, right? So people who are at the lower level, again, this is not to be condescending, like they're like, what do you mean? You've got all this and you hit rock bottom. Like, but when you've been there at the top and you've experienced the bottom, you're like, oh yeah, no, that resonates with you.
Yeah. And so, I feel this, because there's a difference between what success looks like on paper and what it actually is like in reality.
Yes. And what it feels like in your body, in your heart, and in your mind. Like those are two different things.
Did you say untrapping? What did you say?
I did. I said untrap. Untrap. I was like, I should probably trademark that whole thing. Yeah, untrapping themselves.
Yeah, I wrote that down because it is an untrapping, because there are these models and these paradigms and these boxes that we conform to. You said people put it on you, but you put it on yourself. Mm-hmm. And it's breaking out of that. Like, what is it that I desire? What is it that I want aside from what everybody else is putting on me? What does a CEO look like? What does that, it's 8-figure. Yeah. Okay, great. I feel you. Okay. Awesome. So let's see. Is there anything else that needs? You're already attracting. I mean, it's already there. People are already in your field. So
what do I need to do to make them say, come on? No.
I was just asking that.
Because I do feel like I feel like I can touch them. You know, like I feel they're so close to me, but it's like,
so the thing that, because I was asking the same question, like, well, so what does she need to do to have them come in, say yes? And so part of it is like just a simple mindset shift that you don't need like more people. 5, like that's it.
Right.
5.
Right.
We don't need to have like a Goliath list, Goliath following, like we already know that your private group is like wildly crazy engaged. You don't need more. You're already doing the work and they're already in your field. And so what do we need to do to call them in for those who are going to say yes? I don't know how this is possible. Amp up your visibility. So what does that really mean? Sharing these stories, sharing what the untrapping looks like, sharing what these things are like, talking about it, simply just talking about it to create that resonance. I love you on reels. That's what they're showing me, is like these like vertical reels. And play, use your playfulness. I just feel like a lot of this conversation is happening through DMs. It's not this like wild, big, like, to do. Put it out there. Just start energetically putting it out there. How does it feel to be like rolling enrollment? Or do you have like a hard, like has to start and end at this time?
I do want to have a rolling enrollment. And that's why it feels like, okay, well, March is doable because it's not like open, close. It's like, come.
I feel like that. I mean, I don't always feel that way, but I kind of feel like this rolling enrollment can like really kind of work and build on itself.
Yes.
Because you're holding the container for it.
Right.
You hold a great container. So I just feel like this progression actually could be very helpful for folks to see like, oh, well, I'm here and they're there and we're all like where we are. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think it also mirrors real life of, we're all in different stages and phases and whatever.
That's so true.
Okay. So, let's just go into March a little bit. It feels a lot warmer and more expansive, like around like the 22nd, 23rd of March. Doesn't mean you can't start talking about it right now. Right. I don't know what the 22nd or 23rd of March even looks like. It's like a midweek kind of thing. I mean, it feels good. If you want to start rolling it out and just start using these messages, sharing this work. I mean, the content you're creating, the podcast that you're creating is for this person right now.
Yeah.
Talking about the transformation, talking about the problems, what's the biggest mistake that they're making that they probably don't even realize is happening in their life. What are some of the tips that they can use that can just like address common stressors or problems? What are some resources that they could have? And, you already know how to put all these different things together. It's just like, just that slight shift in perspective. Trust your gut. This is what it's like. It will guide you. It's almost like you're kind of like, the old operator switchboard, like you're kind of just unplugging from and like plugging into this one. Like you're still doing the thing on social media. We're just plugging into a different vibration. We're plugging into a different message. We're showing up as a little bit different. We're just serving a different audience. And I'll tell you, it's a lot easier than you might think. And it feels so much more authentic. So it's like when you're serving at this level, it's like, I mean, I know it was already in me, but like, it just feels good getting out. I feel like that for myself right now. So like, I can totally tell you, I know what it feels like. Yeah. You're like, haven't I been saying it all along? Like, I haven't though. You haven't though. So this is that next level of how you're sharing that. And I like how that feels.
And when we were doing that, I don't know how much time we have, but I got to put it out there. Like we were going back to the whole price thing, the investment level. And, I was quite like 20 just sound, doesn't feel right. And then you said 24. And then even when we were like earlier, it was almost like, which I'm going to say it. I'm just going to say it. It was almost like it needs to be at the level of service that this program is and the benefits and what they're going to receive. It needs to be no less than $35,000. I said it.
How does that feel?
It feels good. Because it feels good because not only am I worthy of commanding that investment level, but the people who are going to invest in it are also worthy of that level of service that they're going to receive. So the exchange of service is congruent with the level of investment.
Absolutely.
It's my heart.
It's okay.
But my mind is like,
I get
it. Yeah. That's okay. That's okay.
I get it. But when you tap into that like soul, where you originated from, this like celestial energy is like, who cares what the price is?
That's exactly okay. That's exactly what came to me too, that it was like, okay, no less than 35. And then as I was sitting in it, it was like, it could easily be 100,000. It does, like the number doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So let's pull that energy in, but ground it. So where does it need to start? For them to have this transformation, where does it need to start? That first round.
Okay. The first round. Why is the number 33 right there? Great. That's a weird number.
It's not a weird number. It's a great number. It's an angel number. It's a lovely number.
Okay. So 33,000 is where it needs to start.
Okay, great.
But I just said 35. Okay, whatever. I'm going with it.
It's okay.
It's okay.
The number is the number, and we can waffle and waver and talk about it all day. Yes. But that's okay if it can just drop in. And, you can Google the significance of the number 33 and probably have your mind blown. I don't know what it is, but we'll figure it out. But this is it. It can be that fast and that simple.
Yeah. Okay.
And it has to be, you're right, it has to be that number so that they can get that work, and also so that you can serve at that level. Yeah. And remember, this isn't for this. This is the catalyst for something much bigger. Yes. And so for you to be ready for that thing that's much bigger, it has to be at this level.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're like, it's like you're getting your black belt. My son does karate. It's like you have to do a certain amount of levels of classes and like apparently whatever. Karate references. All right. Is there anything else that Andréa require? You are so supported. Like the universe so supports you in this mission. Like, this is it. You are so supportive. It is like a heck yes. And I didn't swear. Did you notice that? Did you notice? Didn't swear for you.
But I don't care if you do.
I know. This is your energy I'm in, though. When I'm in my energy, I just drop them.
You're right.
I don't care. All right. You are so supportive. And we give great gratitude for all of Andréa's guidance for their work, their wisdom, their messages. And we ask that she's always surrounded by the most amazing light of unconditional love, healing, guidance, and support, allowing her to feel this support each and every day as she brings her soul's work into this world, impacting the lives of millions of people, creating this new level of healing. We give great gratitude for Andréa for stepping up to this work. Thank you. And so be it. You ready? Take a nice deep breath in. And come all the way back. I'm so glad you're here doing this work.
Thank you. Although some days I'm like, why couldn't I have the sexy message? Like, make a lot of money. I gotta talk about your trauma. No.
Next lifetime. Next lifetime.
Right. Next time.
Hey, trauma is sexy, whatever.
Actually, you know what? I actually said this on a couple of my lives. Like, I know we don't think that trauma is sexy, but if you are ever in the presence of someone who is wholly healed and knows who they are and steps into their power, there is nothing more sexier than that. When I am in the presence of healed people, I am like,
turn on.
Yeah, right. And it doesn't matter whether they're a woman or man or they're bi, it doesn't matter. It's like in the presence of a healed person, that is just like, they can have a jacked up eye or you're just like, oh, that's so sexy. Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. And that's the irony, is that we believe that what makes us vulnerable and like, oh, we don't want to share these dark wounds that I've been working through. It's like, do you know that there is nothing sexier than somebody who's been through that? And here you are. Woo!
Exactly.
Amen. All right. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this work. And thank you for being part of this series that I don't know what's happening with, but it's going to be something wonderful.
Yes, it is. Because you're wonderful. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, for offering it up. I mean, this is, like my work is my work and this is your work. And it's such powerful work. And I know without your influence, I probably would be where I am, but it would have taken me longer time to get there. You know what I'm saying? And so I know you have been extremely influential on my life, and you've seen me in my darkest days.
Yep.
And you've held the space for me. And so I just appreciate you. And then I appreciate you opening up this opportunity for me, because just this little time, not an hour, just so much clarity. So thank you.
Good. My pleasure. Love you.
Love you too.
Hey, y'all. So I wanted to take a minute and just tell you about an amazing session that I had with one of my very good friends who happens to be an amazing business alignment coach. My session with Emily was absolutely confirming and affirming for me. Now, I often say that when you are doing the work on yourself, when you have sessions with other people, there shouldn't really be any, revealing, life-changing things that are revealed to you if you have a close relationship with yourself. However, I do understand and respect and can appreciate that not everyone has a really good relationship with themselves and their sense of self. However, I do. So my session with her was so affirming and confirming that the work that I am doing and the path that I am on and the path that I have taken in my life, that I am definitely and most certainly on the path that is most aligned. And I don't like to even use right, wrong, good, bad, because I think those are judgment words, and what's good for someone else is not good for another person. So if you ever have an opportunity to book a session with Emily, you're going to want to go ahead and do that, because if you are in tune with yourself, so much will be confirmed and affirmed for you. And if you just so happen to not be in tune with yourself during her sessions, that may be revealed to you. So do not pass up an opportunity to work with Emily Aarons. And don't be afraid to do the work, right? Because there is so much work for you to do. You wouldn't be attracted to her if you didn't feel like you had a calling on your life.